Welcome friends, welcome back to the kitchen, welcome back to the summer of 2022 ice cream extravaganza. Today we're going to do a cherry ice cream. We've done cherry ice cream in the past where we used maraschino cherries, Luxardo, both the cherries in a jar, Luxardo maraschino cherries in a jar, and the liqueur. Where is the liqueur? I'll find the liqueur in a little bit. Super extravagant and a little bit expensive. So I'm not going to use the cherries in a jar. We are still going to use the liqueur. But today I'm going to use frozen cherries. We're still going to use the liqueur. But I think in order to deepen the flavor and drive off some of the liquid, I'm going to roast these cherries ahead of time. And I think that's probably enough. So I've got the oven up to 425. I've got it on forced fan. I'm going to stick these in and I'm going to let them roast, and that will drive off some of the water. We don't want water in the ice cream because that brings ice crystals, which gives you a bad texture or a poor texture. And also roasting will deepen the flavors and sort of caramelize the sugars in the cherries, which will give us a nice, rich cherry flavor. At least that's what I'm hoping. And so into the oven they go. Okay, so those are roasty toasty. Nice and caramelized, and that didn't take very long. That was about 15 minutes in the oven. Watch them pretty closely because they go from caramelized to burnt relatively quickly, and you don't want them to burn, but you do want to really roast them and dry them out a little bit and develop that deep, rich flavor. So if you've been following along so far, the base recipe is exactly the same. You want between 2 and 3 cups of 35% whipping cream. And today I'm going to do, let's do 3. We're going to do 3 cups. Go the full 3 cups. That number isn't all that important. It really isn't all that important. Sometimes I'll do 2 cups because I have a smaller container. I'm just going to leave it directly in the freezer. So 3 cups works. Now I'm going to whip it, and I'm going to go 90% of the way finished before we move on to the next step. Okay, and I think that's it. It's holding its shape. That's as far as I want to go. Now, the next component that is very important is this, and that is condensed milk, or for those of you that need to say it, sweetened condensed milk. This is where all of the sugar in this recipe comes from, is from the condensed milk. So I'm going to pour that into this jug. Get it all in there. Next is the Luxardo maraschino liqueur, and I'm going to go 3 tablespoons. So 3 tablespoons is the maximum if you're using 3 cups of the cream. If you're using 2 cups of the cream, only use 2 tablespoons of the cherry liqueur, and kind of make your own mind up on that. Sometimes the cherry liqueur, if you get the liqueur a little wrong, the ice cream becomes too hot. You really notice that the liqueur is there, or you get that liquor flavor, and that might be what you're going for. And you might not like it. So you've kind of got to, I would start it the first time you do this and err on the side of not putting enough in. Add about a tablespoon of liqueur. You're going to get all of the benefits of that alcohol keeping that creamy texture on the ice cream. There are variables, and I'd like you to explore and find what you like. So in go the cherries, and I'm not going to cut them up because they will break up on their own as we get them in there. Okay, now that I've got the cherries in, same mixer, just whip that all in there. The cherries were really at the point where they were starting to disintegrate, and so just this mixing is going to break them up enough, I think, that you're not going to get a giant chunk of cherry. And then we'll mix it into the whipped cream. Okay. And I'll just fold this a little bit just to make sure it's fully mixed in. Lid on, goes in the freezer 3 or 4 hours, maybe even 5 hours, depending on how soft or hard you like your ice cream. Put that in, clean up, and it'll be ready when Julie gets home from work. That's gonna be good.
Hey friends, hey Glen. Ice cream day.
Ice cream. Let's see.
I do like ice cream day.
Spoon for you.
Thank you.
Spoon for me. Here we go.
That's really tasty. Well, it's got a nice caramely flavor.
Yeah.
How did-
Roasted cherry.
Oh, that would explain the caramel. That would explain the caramel.
Roasted cherry. So I took frozen, just a bag of frozen cherries, put them out on a...
What? Not the 6 cherries that showed up on our tree?
No.
That the birds ate first?
No. We didn't get any cherries on our cherry tree this year. No, frozen cherries, put them out on a baking tray, put them in the oven at, well, I don't know what I said it was, 425, 450, 475, something. Maybe 15 minutes I pulled them out. It didn't take that long. So the roasting drives off the water.
I was going to say, because there'd be a lot of water in frozen.
Yeah, I put this on fan. I mean, I had the fan blasting it. So drives off the water, caramelizes the sugars, and turns the cherries into something that's just full of sugar. And so they're not hard. The cherries aren't hard. They are really sort of...
And then there's that caramel flavor of the... Now, being that the last few ice creams you made, they all had liquor in them.
Yeah, this has Luxardo. It has Luxardo cherry liqueur.
Okay.
Which just
really
gives
tasty.
it's just subtle background, I think, cherry flavor from Luxardo. But the cherries are amazing. This is really good.
Ice cream.
Well
Cherries.
worth buying a bag of cherries at the grocery store. And I mean, you could buy
Any fruit.
even the mixed bag of fruit that has like blueberries and strawberries and cherries and everything in it. This is really good.
Would you like a melon?
Yeah. Watermelon.
Of course you went with watermelon.
Roasted watermelon.
I don't know.
ice
Can you
cream.
roast a water? Like, I guess it's got all the sugars. I'm having, well, it's like having grilled watermelon, which is good. So, sure, why not? Watermelon.
I've got an idea. I've got an idea on that. So you might see watermelon ice cream coming up. Thanks for stopping by. See you again soon.